If you are thinking about filing for Social Security in 2026, this is something you should hear before you do anything else. Many people rush into filing because they hear advice from friends, family, or online. Others feel pressure because of age, money, or confusion. But filing for Social Security is not something you want to rush. Once you file, many parts of that decision stay with you for the rest of your life. This video is here to help you slow down and understand what really matters before you file. This is not financial advice. This is not telling you when to file. This is education only, explained very simply, so you can make your own decision with confidence. Let's start with something very important. Social Security is not just about one number or one age. It is about timing, income, health, work, and your personal situation. In 2026, Social Security still works the same basic way, but many people misunderstand how filing actually affects them. The first thing you need to understand is that there is no single best age for everyone. Some people file at 62, some file at full retirement age, some wait until 70. Each choice has pros and cons. The problem happens when people file without understanding those pros and cons. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they will lose Social Security if they wait. That is not true. Your benefits do not disappear if you wait. They grow, but that does not automatically mean waiting is right for everyone. Now let's talk about what filing really means. When you file for Social Security, you are choosing when your monthly payments start. That starting point affects how much you receive each month, how long you receive payments, how benefits may affect your spouse, how work income is treated, how Medicare fits in later. This is why filing deserves careful attention. Another thing many people don't realize is that filing early does not mean you made a mistake. It means you made a choice. But that choice should be informed. In 2026, many people are filing because work has slowed down. Costs are higher, retirement plans changed, health feels different, life looks different than expected. All of that is normal. What's not helpful is filing without knowing what comes next. Now let's talk about age. Social Security allows most people to file as early as age 62. That is the earliest age for retirement benefits. But filing at 62 means your monthly payment is smaller than if you wait. That smaller amount usually lasts for life. This does not mean it is bad. It means you should understand it. Full retirement age for most people is between 66 and 67. Filing at full retirement age means you receive your full benefit amount. Waiting beyond that, up to age 70, increases your monthly benefit. Again, none of these are right or wrong by themselves. They are options. The mistake is not choosing 62 or 67 or 70. The mistake is choosing without understanding. Another thing to understand before filing in 2026 is work. Many people file while still working. That is allowed. But if you file before full retirement age and earn more than a certain amount, some benefits may be temporarily withheld. This surprises many people. They think Social Security made an error. In reality, it's how the rules work. This does not mean the money is gone forever, but it can affect monthly payments and cause confusion. That's why work plans matter when deciding when to file. Now let's talk about Medicare. This is very important. Social Security and Medicare are connected, but they do not start at the same time. Medicare usually begins at age 65. If you file for Social Security before 65, you still need to plan for health insurance. Many people assume filing for Social Security automatically gives them Medicare. That is not true until age 65. This gap surprises many seniors. Understanding this before filing can prevent problems later. Another thing to think about is taxes. Some people are surprised to learn that Social Security benefits can be taxed. This depends on total income, not just Social Security. If you have other income, like pensions, work income, or withdrawals, part of your Social Security may be taxable. This does not affect everyone, but it is something you should know before filing, not after. Now let's talk about spouses. Social Security is not always just about one person. For married couples or people who were married in the past, filing decisions can affect spousal benefits, survivor benefits, household income. Sometimes one person files early and the other waits. Sometimes both wait. Sometimes one person's decision affects the other later. This is why couples should think together if possible. Even a simple understanding can make a big difference. Now let's pause and simplify everything so far. Before filing for Social Security in 2026, it helps to understand what age you are filing at, whether you are still working, how much income you have, whether you need income now, how health insurance fits in, how this may affect your spouse. You do not need to be an expert, you just need to be aware. Filing for Social Security should not feel rushed or confusing. It should feel calm and understood. Many seniors say they wish they had watched something like this before filing, not because they chose wrong, but because they wish they had felt more confident, and confidence comes from understanding. Another thing many people experience before filing is pressure. Pressure from friends who say, "I filed at 62 and it worked for me." Pressure from coworkers who say, "You should wait as long as possible." Pressure from family members who mean well but don't know your full situation. This pressure can make filing feel urgent, even when it doesn't need to be. The truth is, Social Security does not disappear overnight. You are allowed to take time to decide. You are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to slow down. Many people think there is a deadline they are about to miss, when in reality, filing is a choice you can make when you are ready. Another common issue is emotional decision-making. Retirement is not just a financial change, it is an emotional change. People feel excited, people feel nervous, people feel tired. These feelings can push someone to file before they fully understand what they are doing. There is nothing wrong with emotion, but big decisions are easier when emotion and information work together. That's why watching something like this before filing can help. Now let's talk about a very common misunderstanding. Some people believe that once they file, they are completely locked in forever. That is mostly true, but there are small exceptions early on. In very limited situations, benefits can be stopped or repaid within a short window. However, most people should assume that filing is a long-term decision. That's why understanding comes first. Another thing to understand is how Social Security communicates. Many notices come by mail, some come online, some are confusing, some use words that are hard to understand. This causes people to file without fully reading what they are agreeing to. Before filing, it's a good idea to read everything slowly, ask for clarification if needed, double-check information, make sure contact details are correct. Rushing through the process increases confusion later. Now, let's talk about expectations. Some people expect their first Social Security payment to arrive immediately. In reality, there can be a waiting period. Payment timing depends on when you file your birth date. Processing time. Understanding. This prevents worry later. Another thing to think about is budgeting. Before filing, it helps to ask, what bills does this cover? What bills does it not cover? Do I still need other income? How stable is my budget? Social Security is often one part of retirement income, not all of it. Knowing that ahead of time helps with planning. Another important point is that Social Security is adjusted over time. Cost of living adjustments may happen. Medicare premiums may change. Taxes may apply depending on income. These changes are normal, but they are easier to manage when you expect them. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked things: paperwork. Mistakes on applications happen. Wrong dates, wrong income amounts, wrong bank information. These mistakes can delay payments or cause issues later. Taking your time while filing helps prevent problems. There is no prize for filing fast. Accuracy matters more than speed. Another thing people forget to consider is future flexibility. Filing earlier may give income now, but it reduces monthly amounts later. Waiting may increase monthly income later, but delays income now. Neither option is perfect. That's why the best choice depends on your life, not someone else's. Now let's slow everything down again. Before filing for Social Security in 2026, ask yourself, do I understand my options? Do I know why I'm choosing this age? Do I feel rushed or calm? Have I thought about work, health, and income? Do I understand how this affects the future? If you cannot answer these clearly, it's okay to wait. Waiting to decide is not the same as losing benefits. It's simply choosing to be informed. Many seniors say that once they understood how filing worked, they felt more relaxed. They stopped worrying about what others were doing. They focused on what worked for them. And that's the goal. Understanding leads to confidence. Confidence leads to better decisions. Now let's bring everything together in a very simple way. Before filing for Social Security in 2026, it helps to walk through a short checklist. This is not a test. It's just a way to slow down and feel confident. First, know your age and your options. Understand whether you are filing at 62, full retirement age, or later. Know that each choice affects your monthly payment. Second, think about your income. Ask yourself if you need Social Security right now, or if you have other income coming in. There is no right or wrong answer. It's about what works for you. Third, think about work. If you are still working or plan to work, understand how that may affect your benefits if you file early. This helps avoid surprises. Fourth, think about health insurance. Remember that Medicare usually starts at age 65. If you are filing before then, make sure you know how health coverage fits into your plan. Fifth, think about taxes. If you have other income, part of your Social Security may be taxable. Knowing this ahead of time helps with budgeting. Sixth, think about your spouse or family. If you are married, divorced, or widowed, filing decisions can affect more than just you. Understanding this helps with long-term planning. Seventh, check your information. Make sure your name, address, and bank details are correct. Small errors can cause delays. Eighth, take your time. There is no reward for rushing. There is value in understanding. Filing for Social Security is one of the biggest retirement decisions many people make. It deserves attention, it deserves calm thinking, and it deserves clear information. Many seniors feel relief once they understand how Social Security works. They stop worrying about rumors, they stop feeling pressured, they start feeling in control. That is what this video is meant to do, not to tell you what to choose, but to help you choose with confidence. If you are filing for Social Security in 2026, remember this: the best decision is the one you understand. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'll continue sharing simple, clear information to help seniors make sense of Social Security without confusion or stress. I'll see you in the next video.